Switch on your video, Rhythm.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are fine and healthy. Today, I and my fellow group members are going to present a PowerPoint presentation on the topic Principle and Techniques of Scientific Management. Frederick Winslow Taylor is the father of management. He gave the theory of scientific management. He says that scientific measures must be taken before doing any work. The rule of thumb method or hit and miss method should be avoided. Next slide, please. Basically, there are four principles of scientific management. First, science, not the rule of thumb. Second, harmony, not discord. Third, cooperation, not individualization. Fourth, development of every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Under first principle, Frederick Winslow Taylor says that every work must be done under scientific and research methods instead of trial and error method or hit and miss method. Even a small decision must be taken under scientific circumstances. This will increase the efficiency of the organization. According to him, a smallest activity can be scientifically planned. This will save time as well as human energy. Second principle is harmony, not discord. Frederick Winslow Taylor says that there must be a harmonious environment between the managers and the workers. Mutual understanding is very necessary. Management should adopt an enlightened attitude and share the gain of productivity with the workers. Workers, on their part, must work with loyalty and discipline. So, mutual understanding is necessary between the manager and workers. Now, I would like to call Sankalp for further explanation.
Thank you, Rupal. Now, taking the presentation further, our third principle is cooperation, not individualism. Through this principle, Taylor suggested that there should be a mutual cooperation between the managers and workers. There should be a truthfulness and a mutual confidence and understanding for each other. They must cooperate with each other in order to carry out the work in a smooth way. Secondly, before setting up the targets and standards for the workers by the managers, they should consult the workers about what time they will take and what are their interests. So they should be consult because when they are consulted before setting up the targets and standards, they are responsible for the completion of the task on the time. Third, there must be a open communication system. Like I can say, the managers should welcome the good suggestion by the employees, and the employees should be even get it rewarded for the good suggestions. On the contrary, the employees should avoid unusual demands and unusual strikes for the firm. Next, there should be equal division of work. That is, the work should be divided equally between the managers and workers, so that the workers and managers do not think that they are burdened more. So that was our third principle. Now, our fourth principle is development of workers to their greatest efficiency and prosperity. First, a workers' efficiency depend upon the proper training and their selection. That means the workers should be properly trained and their selection should be according to the needs of the firm. Second, due care should be taken while selecting the employees. Like when the firm recruit the workers, they should take care that what their needs are and they are satisfied, and their qualification which they need are satisfied. So Due care should be taken while selecting the employees, and after selecting, they must be given job according to their qualification, like what are their qualification and what are their interest in the field of work. Last, employers must be provided proper training sessions and seminars which will increase their knowledge and skills. When the proper seminars and training are given to the employees, it will increase the knowledge and skills of employees, and it will ultimately increase the efficiency of workers as well as the efficiency of the organization. So these were our four principles suggested by F.W. Taylor. Taylor also suggested some techniques to for scientific management. The technique for that explanation of technique, I would like to invite Rhythm for further explanation.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. So our topic is techniques that are given by Taylor. There are five techniques that are techniques of scientific management: functional foremanship, standardization and simplification of work study, differential piece weight system, and mental revolution. Technique one: functional foremanship. Taylor suggested that to improve efficiency and effectiveness of the operational activities, the managers must possess specific skills like leadership, intelligence, knowledge, experience, honesty, and energy. Second, the idea he came up was that the managerial activity should be divided into two parts, that is, planning and production, with two individual charges appointed under the factory managers for carrying out both of these activities. Here is a flowchart about the factory manager and planning in charge and production in charge. Factory manager. Factory manager is the person who holds the highest managerial position of the unit and is responsible for the proper functioning of the organization. Planning in charge. Planning in charge is responsible for the formulation of policies, strategies, and producers of the operational activities. To simplify the work, following four clerks are appointed to do the same. Instruction card clerk. Instruction card clerk will determine and direct how the work has to be performed. Route clerk. Route clerk will decide what is to be done and what steps are need to be taken for the particular task. Time and cost clerk. This clerk will determine what is the time limit and what cost needs to be taken for this. Fourth, disciplinarian. A disciplinarian is a clerk who ensures discipline is maintained and rules and regulation are followed. So now, production in charge. Production in charge needs to take care of all the operations and production activities. The four clerks are assigned under production in charge are as follows. Speed boss. The speed boss is responsible for getting the work on time. Gang boss. The person who looks after the availability of all the equipments, tool, accessories. Repair box. Repair boss has to take care of the repairs, maintenance, and overhauling of the tools and machinery used for production. Inspector. The inspector is responsible for ensuring that all activities are being carried out in a planned manner. So that was the first technique. And the second technique are standardization and simplification of work. Scientific management always emphasizes on maintaining standards relating to every step of business operation. Second point, standardization of output is possible if standard is maintained right from selection of tools, equipments, and machine to use. Maximize the output by keeping in mind for quality standards. Third, standardization does not mean only the quality standard, but it also refers to standards of size, type, weights, measures, and quality of products. Here are some objectives of standardization and simplification of work. First, to reduce a given line of product to fixed shape, size, and characteristics. Second, to allow interchangeability of manufactured parts and output among different departments and branches. Third, to maintain quality standards. Fourth, to set a performance standard of men and machine. Now, for further explanation, I would like to call Sujal.
Thanks, Rhythm. Uh, Here's the technique third work study. Production. It ensure maximum production at minimum cost and getting best contribution from every factor. There are four types of work study. It includes fatigue study, method study, time study, and motion study. Fatigue study. The technique of scientific management is conducted to find out the frequency of rest intervals, the duration of rest intervals, the number of rest intervals. For example, if there are three shift of workers get tired, he can be at first and third site and given rest intervals in second shift so that workers become more fresh. Method study. The technique of scientific management is conducted to find out the one best method or way of performing the job which keeps production cost minimum and make maximum use of resource of the organization. According to him, rule of thumb should be avoided while deciding production method, and all the method must be tried, and the one which brings maximum benefit and minimum cost should be selected. Change slide. Time study. The technique of time study is conducted to determine, or the objective of time studies are the standard time required to perform a job, setting up the standard target for workers, determining the number of workers required to perform a job, categorizing the workers in efficient and inefficient categories. And the last, motion studies. The technique of motion studies conducted to find out, to determine the movement of workers and they're performing their jobs, differentiate between productive and unproductive movements, for cutting down unproductive and wasteful movements, to design suitable equipment and the tool to minimize the unproductive movement of workers. Thank you. And the further information, I would like to invite Utsav Bhandari.
Thank you, Sujat. So technique 4 is differential piece wage system. In this wage system, the more effective worker gets bonus or rewards for his work. So sorry. So the other workers get motivated to do work better. For example, worker A produce 11 units, he gets 550 rupees. While worker B produce 9 units, he gets 360 rupees. The difference of 190 will motivate B to perform better. Next slide, please. The last technique, mental revolution. It involves a complete change in mental outlook and attitude towards one and another from competition to cooperate. The management should create pleasant working conditions and workers should work with devotion and loyalty. Instead of fighting over distribution of profit, they must focus on increasing the profit. Thank you.